Hi guys, hope everyone's well and welcome back to the education section. This video is going to be on nutrition and it's going to be in the beginner education section series. So the purpose of this episode is simply for clients that are maybe new to the gym or new to the coaching process to ensure they have a good foundation of knowledge of all kind of the basic necessary things you kind of need to have a good kind of awareness and knowledge of, so that you can kind of understand the feedback effectively that I'm giving you in nutrition in your check-in, and you can also be aware of why I'm making certain adjustments, etc. So simply going over the basics, and again, just like the training video I've done prior, if you've not checked that out, the goal is to keep it short and sweet and just give you kind of the basic knowledge that you need to know. So some key terms that I'd like to go over are, first of all, calories. So calories are simply a unit of energy. It's a way of simply measuring how much you're intaking and how much kind of energy you're expending. And benefit of that is it simply allows us to kind of keep track of it accordingly and be able to manipulate it. And macronutrients are what basically calories are made up of. So the three main groups of nutrients your body needs in large amounts are simply what macronutrients are. Also referred to as macros at times. And it's basically made up of protein, fats and carbohydrates. So they're the three things that make up calories. So basically the three food groups with caloric value that I may ask you to track throughout the coaching process. And all of these macronutrients have different benefits. None of them are bad. None of them we should avoid altogether. Maybe we don't want to have too much or too little of one or another. But they all have value and we don't want to kind of eliminate one from our diet, or we might have potential poor health. For example, just to briefly go over it, protein helps us build muscle and just simply take care of kind of daily bodily processes in the body. Fat slow down digestion of carbohydrates, is good for our hormonal health. And carbohydrates are our main source of energy, so we want them so we feel kind of energized on a daily basis and we can perform well in the gym. Micronutrients, they're simply vitamins and minerals, so think about things like vitamin C, zinc, things like that. That will be micronutrients, so just they're kind of what come under kind of macronutrients, hence any micro. And with micronutrients, generally, like, you want to have a good amount in your diet just so you don't have any deficiencies, so you have good health, you can perform well. And some other terms I'm going to go over are ones that are involved in energy balance, so we'll go over them in a bit. But first of all, explaining what energy balance is. So energy balance is simply what happens to your body weight is dictated by calories in, calories out. That's what it simply means. It simply means that what's happening in terms of the weight on the scales, how much weight you have on your body, will be influenced not by what type of food you eat, not by how much exercise you do, but somewhat a combination of how much calories you're consuming and how much calories you're burning, which we'll get to. So a calorie surplus is simply when you eat more calories than you're burning. So think about you being at a calorie maintenance, so you maintaining your body weight is at zero, right? Let's say a sum of how much calories you're eating, taking away how much calories you're burning, puts you at 100. Then you're in a 100 calorie surplus, so you'll gain weight. Whereas if you are maybe burning more calories than you're eating and you're at minus 100, then that will put you at a calorie maintenance, if that makes sense. So basically, to maintain our body weight, we want to be here. And if we burn more calories, then we'll be in a deficit. Or if we eat less calories, that will also put us in a deficit. However, if we're at maintenance and we start moving less, we might go into a calorie surplus. Or if we're at maintenance and we start eating more, we might go into a calorie surplus. So basically, what happens to your body weight is determined by how much calories you're eating and how much calories you're burning, if that makes sense. So yeah, calorie surplus is obviously when you're gaining weight. Calorie deficit is when you're losing weight, and being at maintenance is when you're having your body at like an equal energy balance, when you're at your perceived maintenance. And what matters most when it comes to your nutrition? What do we want to kind of make sure is in a good spot, and what is most valuable to keep an eye on? So having appropriate protein requirements, so making sure we're consuming adequate amounts of protein. 2 grams per kilogram is a good place to start. Obviously, I'll help you with this. I'll set you a goal accordingly in regarding your protein intake, if I feel like it's necessary for where you're currently at. And also having appropriate energy balance, of course, for the reasons kind of discussed. Like, if you're wanting to kind of lose weight, it doesn't matter how healthy you're eating, it doesn't matter how much protein you're eating. What matters is what your energy balance is. So making sure you've obviously got appropriate energy balance for what phase you're in or what your goals are. Next up, eating your 5 a day for kind of reasons kind of that are quite, maybe it's maybe quite obvious, you could say, just because you want to have good general health. You don't want to have any deficiencies which can make you get sick more often, not feel as energised on a daily basis, make you not perform as well, etc. So eating your 5 a day. And adequate hydration, so making sure we've got an appropriate amount of water and also electrolytes, which we can have through things like food sources and also things like salt. And also whatever allows you to adhere to the above, so whatever allows you to have a good amount of protein, have your 5 a day, appropriate energy balance and hydration, they're kind of the key fundamentals, and whatever lets you stick to that in terms of how your food looks on a daily basis is kind of what's most important, if that makes sense. And just eating relatively healthy, I don't need to tell you what that is, but eating all your foods processed, getting takeaways all the time, obviously not that healthy. Eating some fruit and vegetables, lean meats, whole grain food sources, most of your diet maybe whole foods, that's obviously going to be a bit healthier, and as a result it'll be conducive towards your goals. And if you want to dive further on other kind of things you could consider is eating around your session, how you time your meals on a daily basis, the amount of meals and protein servings you have on a day, or in a day, not on a day, sorry. And quickly